There's a festive atmosphere in the air outside the Georgia Dome here in Atlanta as fans from Louisville and Auburn anticipate the kickoff of another college football season. The Cards faithful have shown up loud and proud to root on Bobby Petrino and his powerful passing offense. The Tiger fans have made the 90-mile trek up I-85 in what they hope will be multiple trips to Atlanta on their way to a championship season. It's Labor Day weekend, and the Cards and the Tigers are ready to go to work. Welcome to Atlanta, Georgia, at the heart of the South's culture and commerce, and a city that intersects multiple times on the road to the college football championship. On 3 separate occasions, this southern hamlet will host key showdowns that will alter the championship landscape and help separate the pretenders from the contenders. It begins today as interconference foes Louisville and Auburn look to make a bold statement in their pursuit of the national title. The Tigers of Auburn, under offensive whiz Gus Malzahn, are proving they have championship mettle, and hope quarterback Jeremy Johnson can match the magic of another Malzahn protege and lead them to the promised land. The Cardinals of Louisville are led by once and present coach Bobby Petrino, who is all too familiar to Auburn. A master of the passing offense, Petrino's return to his old Kentucky home has the Cardinals on the precipice of greatness once again. Louisville and Auburn, college football is back. From the Georgia Dome in downtown Atlanta, it's the Chick-fil-A kickoff game. We welcome you to the Georgia Dome, a very special weekend for all of us at CBS as we begin our 20th season with the SEC on CBS. Very special for me. This is the 10th year I get to work with Gary Danielson.
You haven't changed a bit in 10 years. That could be good or bad, Vern. I don't know.
That's quite true. Gary, let's look at the big picture. Ohio State, defending champion. They are the preseason pick, unanimous as number 1. But we've all learned that anything can go. A lot of contenders this year.
I think so. The lesson from 2014, Vern, I think, is just relax. Win your conference championship. We had Ohio State early last year. They struggled against Navy. They lost to Virginia Tech, but they built themselves into a football team. There's 4 spots. Everybody's alive. Just finish the season, win your championship, and you might end up in the playoff.
Well, one of those teams with very high aspirations is the team from the SEC, Auburn.
They really are. Not only do they believe they're a good football team, I think top to bottom everybody thinks they're a contender to win this thing. It starts at the quarterback, though. They don't have a lot of games of experience from Jeremy Johnson, but they believe what they've seen in him, and he's 3 years into the system with spring practices and experience that he's ready to lead them. He doesn't have a lot of running back experience around him, but he has a lot of weapons to throw, and he has one more weapon. He's got a defensive coordinator in Will Muschamp. I think Auburn will play really strong defense this year. When you're a quarterback, believe me, when you know you got a defense that you can punt the ball and get it back, you play a whole different way.
Well, you look at the Louisville Cardinals out of the ACC. Head coach Bobby Petrino, one of the great play callers in all of college ball. He has kept it very close to the vest where the quarterbacks are concerned.
I don't blame him. He's got 3 guys that have won games for him a year ago in this football, for this team. Bonifant, Gardner, and Bolin. And I think he believes that he can win with any of the 3 guys. Now, I believe it's going to be number 7 that starts the game. But get this, we may see another guy, a freshman, number 8, Jackson, who they think is going to be a future star, and give him a few packages to keep Will Muschamp and Auburn a little bit off balance in his football game. Listen, Louisville's playing a lot of big games. When this team like this can win at Notre Dame, they don't come into this football game with any fear.
Well, we are glad to have you with us. Only the second time these 2 teams have ever met, and they do so in the Chick-fil-A kickoff game from Atlanta. The Chick-fil-A kickoff game on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Wheels Up, Dodge, and by Chick-fil-A. We've got the parachuting cows as a backdrop to this sellout crowd. Thank God they started indoors. Here come the Cardinals of Louisville. Right behind them. Auburn, 6-4 at the Dome. They won the SEC championship here 3 times. Let's go down to Allie LaForce live with Bobby Petrino.
Coach, you have kept the nation waiting to hear who your starting quarterback would be. It's time to lay the cards on the table. Who will we see under center?
Oh, we just got a couple more minutes. Well, hopefully we get the kickoff and you get to see right off the bat.
You're going to keep us surprised, huh?
Might as well.
Let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. You've had to completely revamp it, just 4 returning starters, but you do have 3 transfers with experience. What do you expect from this defensive unit today?
Oh, I think we'll be good on defense. We're really good on the front 7. We got all our interior down linemen and 2 great linebackers, and we're going to have to put pressure on the quarterback.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Vern and Gary, you'll soon find out.
Gosh, I'm breathless with anticipation.
Allie should have put his hand on something, you know, amazing right hand, say, you got to answer this, Bobby.
Oh, dear. Well, we're guessing.
That's going to be the guy.
It's going to be Bonifant.
I'm jumping out
Yeah.
if it's.
Are you really?
Well,
You must
I did
have
go
been
to
at practice
I
this
did go
week.
to practice. He received the majority of the #1 snaps in practice, but who knows? Maybe, you know, Bobby's the ultimate guy, tactician. He might have done that just because I flew there, basically. He's like, I got Gary in for practice. Let's put the other guy under center. Let's put it this way. If Bonifant is the quarterback, he'll give him a little bit of that mobility because Auburn's pass rush is going to be a weapon this year. With Lawson coming back and some of the players that were injured a year ago, that is a real worry part for Louisville going into this game.
Reggie Bonifant is a dual threat quarterback. He throws it well, but runs perhaps even more adroitly. Well, we're about to accomplish that. We have accomplished the coin flip. Thank you. Auburn won the toss. They have deferred the option to the 3rd quarter. So Louisville will get the ball and go on offense. Gosh, we're going to find out who the quarterback is more quickly than we thought. Last meeting was 74. Auburn defeated Louisville 16-3. That game played at Legion Field in Birmingham, and Phil Gargis had 2 rushing touchdowns to provide the victory in the 4th quarter. Every seat has been sold. This is an attractive way to kick off for us the 2015 season. By the way, the officiating crew today is out of the Big Ten. The referee is John O'Neill. Matter of fact, you remember Cam Newton and the Auburn team that won the national title? The referee in that game was John O'Neill from the Big Ten. Daniel Carson will kick off for the Tigers. Last year, Carson kicked off, place kicked, and punted. This year, his workload has been reduced, and he will place kick and kick off only. And a year ago, he was 50 touchbacks out of 81 kicks. Travion Samuel is one of the deep men. It goes deep in the end zone. And Corbin Lamb, number 4, drifts back. So, are you ready? Who's coming on for quarterback? Reggie Bonifant. Now let's take a look at our Chick-fil-A starting lineups. And at quarterback, Reggie Bonifant. 5 starts a year ago. Lamar Jackson is also in the backfield.
They both
the
would
freshman.
play, yep.
It's Jackson, the freshman. Throws it deep into double coverage, and it is intercepted. Picked off by Auburn. Still loose. Trey Matthews.
I'm shocked by that call. I saw him do it in practice, but to have the opening play of the game and have a true freshman, I don't care how good you are in a big game like this, a trick play to start it off. So he goes conservative with Alley, tell him who's going to start at quarterback, and then he lets a true freshman throw a gimmick play on the first play of the game.
Well, among other highlights of the opening week of the season, they don't release the depth charts until Tuesday, and then they change numbers on you. So on my spotting chart, I've got Trey Matthews at number 39. He's obviously wearing number 28. And Rock Thomas opens at fullback. Trey Matthews, who picked off the pass of the freshman. And let's quickly get you to the Chick-fil-A starting lineups. And at quarterback, making only his third start ever, Jeremy Johnson. Into the left flap. Caught by Ricardo Lewis. Jeremy Johnson, Gary.
Well, he's so steady. I mean, when you watch him in practice, the faith that the staff has in him, he knows the offense inside out, and any call that Gus makes, he knows that Jeremy Johnson will protect that football and deliver it.
That's Lewis in motion. They hand it and come near side to Rock Thomas, number 9. Now let's check the offensive line and wideouts. Coleman, Kozan, Golson replaces four-time starter, four-year starter Reese Dismuke. Smith, Young, Petaway, Duke Williams, the star receiver.
There he is right there. They like to throw the ball high to him in this situation. He's a weapon in the red zone.
Melvin Ray is wide left. They go across the middle. Duke Williams, first and goal.
He's such a big target. He's one of those guys where you don't have to throw the ball to him. You just have to throw it near him, and he gobbles it up. No press coverage, so they probably have a read route out, and he runs a slant. And now after the turnover, Auburn has the ball, first and goal.
Last year, 45 receptions in his first year at Auburn. Peyton Barber is now the lead back. Johnson keeps it and strolls in untouched. Touchdown, Auburn.
A lot of Auburn's offense is a read offense. This was a called play all the way. This was a keep design play on first down. They had confidence with the alignment. If it wasn't there, they could have changed the play. Jeremy Johnson always looks over to the sideline to see if he should stay with the play. They had it, and they walk it.
Daniel Carson with the extra point. Well, nice start for the 6th-ranked Auburn Tigers. The interception, 34-yard return, and it leads to this touchdown.
Let's see if Louisville can come and recover from this shock, because that has to be a big shock.
Only 3 more days until the premiere of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, with special guests George Clooney and Jeb Bush. Don't miss it, Tuesday on CBS. You know you got a big game when it's a 2-blimp game.
We do have 2 of them, don't we? Indoors and outdoors.
Yeah.
Well, Bobby Bobby Petrino obviously calls the plays. It's his offense. He's got a lot of experience. He's faced SEC teams before, obviously at Arkansas. He was in the league when he coached at Auburn. He's coached against Will Muschamp, so he must have had something devised that he thought was going to work, but it just puts a lot of pressure on a young player. He knows probably for 3 days that was going to be the opening play, and when it wasn't there right away, he should have just ran it up the middle, gain no yards, and get the second down.
Here's Carlson's kickoff. And again, it's Corbin Lamb. He's only 2 yards in.
I thought he'd go with that one.
Yeah, I did too. Well, you saw this play practice, but
I thought it was going to. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a red zone play more of. But there's the experience with Trey Matthews. He stays in center field, doesn't bite on the fake, and then that's a mistake right there at the end. Just run out of bounds. It just didn't work, and live to fight another day. Now can you put him back in the football game? If you do, Lamar Jackson comes in, I'd be ready for a quarterback draw or a bootleg. I would not think he'd put him in a decision-making position.
Brandon Radcliffe is the running back. Bonifant on the sweep. Travion Samuel, number 9, gets loose, and it's a huge gain for the Cardinals of Louisville all the way out to the 46.
How about this time? Now that's an opening play. The speed sweep, this is what Auburn sees every day in practice. They get leverage. Carl Lawson is not able to see the flow quickly, and now a little hurry up. 5 wide receivers right back at Auburn.
3 left, 2 right. They'll flip it left side, and out on the edge, this is James Quick. He is the only receiver for the Cardinals who returns with more than 10 catches from a year ago. Christian Sabea, Hughley, Lacey Epstrom, Brandon Radcliffe, the featured back. And there's James Quick, who just made the catch. 35 receptions a year ago. Smith and Savage, they will not have Jamari Staples. They expect a lot out of him, but he's injured, a knee. He will miss this game. He enrolled in Louisville after UAB dropped football. Bonifant.
That's it. I got to tell you, Reggie Bonifant is a real smooth football player. They played 1 year of high school quarterback. He was a wide receiver, and he just can feel the football game. He was calm in practice. He delivers the ball. I kind of had the scouting report on him before I went there that he was a scrambler and the weakest part of his game was throwing. He throws the ball pretty good.
He's a 6'3", 209-pounder, hometown kid out of Louisville. And that was a 12-yard catch by Mickey Crum, and timeout is called by the Cardinals. Here's a familiar sight. Time call. But guess what? There's a strong rumor the NFL will begin next week on CBS. 1 o'clock early, Miami at Washington. And at 4:25 Eastern, Baltimore at Denver. And it all begins with the NFL Today. And that's presented by Southwest Airlines. The home of Super Bowl 50 on CBS.
Vern, one other thing that's kind of popped up early in this game, you can tell that Bobby Petrino is wanting to get his offensive line comfortable. They're young and experienced, and he really hasn't attacked with a straight-on play yet. Everything has been a bit gimmicky, bootleggy, and off balance.
First down, 10. Radcliffe comes right and runs into Carl Lawson. Carl Lawson missed last year. They expect huge things out of him. Had an injury a year ago. There's Carl Lawson Jr., Russell, Montravius Adams, Lambert, Chris Frost, Justin Garrett, and Blake Countess. who is a graduate student, played at Michigan, and is in his first year. There's a busted play, and Bonifant hits and is driven down at the 34.
Either Radcliffe was looking at Bonifant, and Bonifant's looking at Radcliffe that time. And now you get a 3rd and long, and probably the most nervous part of the Louisville football team as they go into this game. They don't have a quarterback that really handles 3rd and long well. They don't have an offensive line that handles it well. And Will Muschamp's pretty much an expert at it.
James Quick, Chick-fil-A Savage, inside, it's caught on this side. That's Jalen Smith, a freshman, one of a quartet of outstanding freshman wide receivers for the Cardinals, and that is a first down.
Vern, there's no defense for a perfectly thrown ball. Right off the shoulder of the linebacker, just inside, ball put right on the numbers. Everybody for the Cardinals are saying, all right, let's take a breath. We got this thing going in the right direction.
They'll go out of the gun this time, and they hand it to Radcliffe, who is stiffened as he gets to the 17.5-yard line. This time Montravius Adams, number 1.
Yeah, that's 2 big guys. Montravius Adams and Carl Lawson, number 55, also helps on the play. One guy inside and one guy outside. Probably their 2 best defensive linemen tee up on that play.
2nd down, 9. Got him. Beautiful. James Quick.
Well, you get one-on-one coverage, good protection inside. Had a pocket to throw the ball, steps in and throw it. I'm telling you right now, Petrino's going, wow, we can block these guys, and our quarterback's delivering.
It's a 1st and goal as they go for the tie. 8:49 to go, opening quarter. Load up with 3 to the right side. And the audible call by Bonifant.
Yep.
Flag.
5-yard penalty, still first down.
Listen, there's a lot of great things you get from the check with me offense, meaning when you go to the line of scrimmage, you tell the quarterback you got 2 plays, one to the right, one to the left, and you change it the way you want it to go. But one of the downsides is in a noisy stadium, you've got players that may move. Sometimes you're just better off calling a play and live with it, because when you don't execute it well, instead of 1st and goal, now you got 1st and goal from the 11.
And the red zone stats presented by Verizon. 39 touchdowns and 58 trips a year ago. That's Quick in motion. Play fake. Bonifant rolls out, looks in the end zone. Terrific coverage deep, and he had to throw it away.
Well, you talked about him, Blake Countess, number 24, the transfer from Michigan. You know, the rule, if you graduate and you can go and play another year, this was a godsend for Auburn. They needed somebody in the backfield that had a little bit of experience, and Blake has came right in, and that time he had perfect position on the throw and forced the throw away.
2nd and goal. And again, 3 wides right. It's Quick in the slot. That one is messed up by the penetration in the middle from Dontavius Russell, number 95. A loss of 3.
This was a zone read, and Dontavius Russell beat his man inside really easily with great penetration. And now what do? 3rd and very long. You want points here. You got to come away with 3. Your offensive line has showed they can pass block a little bit. Your receivers have gotten open. What do?
Let's see what Muschamp dials up defensively. And there's motion on the left side. I believe this is going to cost Louisville. I think he was induced into coming across the line of scrimmage.
Ball start. Offense number 78. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Same thing, trying to make calls at the line of scrimmage, changing your protection, too much noise, and all of a sudden, a little bit of movement. Center's making a call. The offensive linemen think it's a snap, and 5 more yards lost.
Called on Aaron Epps, and it's 3rd down. Bonifant into the end, got a man open, but it's too far.
Wow.
Oh, boy. Intended for James Quick.
And he had Quick, I think, on the freshman Timmy Irvin, a safety. It was a great matchup. I think it was 22. Watch this guy right here in the slot. He turns him around, but it's overthrown. Watch him spin him. He had him. It was Timmy Irvin, number 22, and he had a chance for a touchdown. Hey, good drive by Louisville. Let's see if they can put some points on the board.
John Wallace is the place kicker, 15 of 19 a year ago. This one from 36 yards out, and he hooks it and missed it. So a very effective drive for the Cardinals ends in frustration.
Yep. Backed it up. Bobby Petrino and Garrick McGee, the offensive coordinator, is going to have to go over to tell his offense, don't get too frustrated. There was some good things, but let's be, from our end, 2 series, 2 disasters.
Never miss a moment of college football with the CBS Sports app. Every play, every story, and every highlight right as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app now. 2 points. The opening offensive play by Louisville.
Yep.
A surprise to say the least.
Well, yeah, if you're going to do a gimmick play, you really, and I'm not saying they didn't do this. They probably beat them into it all week, that if it's not there, don't make it a disaster. And what happens when you put a young player on the field? He tries to do too much, and then they go 1st and goal and get nothing out of it.
Yeah.
And with self-inflicted wounds both times. They've moved the ball on the Auburn defense when they haven't stopped themselves.
1st down 10. Auburn back with the ball in the lead. Ricardo Lewis goes right, and he's trapped and dumped. That's Jermaine Washington. Good read, stayed home. Let's go down to Allie LaForce.
Thanks, Vern. Gary, just like you said, offensive coordinator Garrick McGee was telling the offensive unit, guys, keep your head up. We made it down the field, but make sure you always look to the sideline so we can make decisions quickly. But then he was interrupted by a very fired up Petrino. He came over and said, we have to be ourselves. Do your responsibility and snap the ball when the ball needs to be snapped. And he ended up saying, do and be yourselves, and we can't go wrong. Don't forget that.
Perfect. That's what I would have said.
2nd down, 11. 4-man rush. Johnson goes deep left side. Ricardo Lewis in a bumping match.
Shaq Williams did a nice job. He did a really nice job. And you know what? He never panicked on the throw. He put his body in front of the receiver, Ricardo Lewis, and maintained the leverage of his body in between. And Jeremy, you're not getting that one. Nice throw, good defense.
Shaq Williams, familiar name to Georgia fans. Shaq Wiggins, transferred from Georgia, sat out last year. He and Josh Harvey Clemens are both a part of this Louisville starting lineup. Here's Johnson. Don't expect this a lot, not like Nick Marshall, but a very effective run.
It's very close, but this is going to be a long season. And Jeremy Johnson has to be ready to know when to lay his body out. It's going to be short. Watch how he gets hit here. This is a long way. That's not the way to go down.
4th and 1. Timeout. .46 to go. Opening quarter. 4th and 1 when we return. On your left, Shaq Wiggins. On your right, Trey Matthews. Teammates at the University of Georgia and part of one of the most famous plays in all of 2013. 4th and 18. There's Wiggins, Josh Harvey Clemens, Ricardo Lewis, the wide receiver. It's 4th and 18. And I think most of you remember what happened here. Nick Marshall steps up, goes deep. The ball is tipped by Josh Harvey Clemens. Lewis with a fine grab. And Auburn comes back and wins it. Josh Harvey Clemens knocked the ball down. And Todd Grantham was the defensive coordinator there at Georgia. And Josh Harvey Clemens and Shaq Wiggins both followed him to Louisville.
Yeah, not surprised at all that Auburn did not go for this. I mean, if it was always 100% on fourth down, you'd always go for it. Things can go wrong. They're going to punt the ball.
So
Or
Kevin Phillips.
Or fake it. But
Yeah, that's right.
I don't see why they would need to risk it.
Kevin Phillips has won the punting job in preseason workouts. This one's high, deep, good hang time. Fair catch call. And taken at the 32-yard line by Jair Alexander. That's a 39-yard punt. And let's go back to our New York studio, Adam Zucker, for this Heisman Watch presented by Nissan.
All right, Vern, Nick Chubb on CBS next week. Today against Louisiana Monroe, his FBS leading 9th straight 100-yard rushing game. A game that saw a weather delay before coaches mutually agreed to end things in Athens. How will Urban Meyer use Cardale Jones Monday night and beyond? And Derrick Henry against Wisconsin tonight. Vern, back to you.
Adam, appreciate it. Keep Neuheisel and Brian quiet in the studio. First down. Roll out. Bonifant. He tries to run. And two men made contact. The first was Justin Garrett, number 26.
One of the trademarks of a Will Muschamp defense is they play a lot of man-to-man coverage. So when you run your gimmick plays or rollouts or your zone cuts, the defense is running man-to-man. You have to attack their man-to-man coverage. When we talked to Coach Petrino last night, he said, I know what Will's going to do. His corners are going to lock up man-to-man, and we are going to attack their corners. Let's see if they start to do it or continue to do it, because a few times they've had some success.
Blitz threatened, delayed blitz, pitch, Brandon Radcliffe. Justin Garrett, Chris Frost.
Justin Garrett, who has struggled with injuries his whole career, is on the outside of this league. This is him right there. I'm not sure. He actually hung in there, played his leverage, plays off a block beautifully, and then bounces outside and makes the tackle. That's exactly how you play linebacker.
Well, one of the most significant coordinator hires of the offseason was the selection of Will Muschamp by Gus Malzahn. Will, of course, ineffective stint as the Florida head coach. Third down, 14. Bonifant with pressure into the flat. Nothing. Caught by Radcliffe. And so Muschamp's defense, after giving up a lot of yards on the opening drive, stiffens here.
Again, that's the man-to-man coverage. And Casanova McKenzie, number 8, comes across. He was tracking. There's no easy dump-offs against a Will Muschamp defense. He challenges the quarterback and allows his defensive line to attack the quarterback with the rush.
Marcus Davis back to return the anticipated punt. And Josh Appleby punted only 6 times all of last year. No rush. Davis will let it go. And it takes a sideways hop out of bounds at the 35-yard line. This fall, Academy Award winner Marcia Gay Harden stars in the new medical drama Code Black. It premieres Wednesday, September 30th, only CBS. Jeremy Johnson, only 2 starts prior to this season. He showed great patience, I think.
Well, yeah, and that's unusual in modern college football. If you don't play early, you want to transfer, but I think very smartly waited his turn, knew he was going to have a good football team, and got back with a football team with experience.
That's Duke Williams across the 50.
If you got your sound up, you can hear Duke on the reception.
Louisville defense, Rankins is the key. Josh Harvey Clemens, there's the former Georgia defensive back, and Shaq Wiggins. Wiggins, the smaller of the two. Left side. This is Rock Thomas, number 9. Pretty heavy competition, and they will go quickly now.
Oh, yeah, when they make a first down, on a first down play, they're coming right back at you. That's a trademark of Gus all along.
And off left side, it's Thomas again. Stays on his feet inside the 30. Take another look at the previous play, Garrett.
Yeah, first down play. Now, these running backs, you know, you said Jeremy Johnson only has 2 starts, but he's a veteran compared to the running backs on this football team, or the H-backs, or the tight ends. So the guys immediately around Jeremy, he has to provide the leadership. There is some experience at wide receiver, but not in the backfield.
Offensive lineman Will Adams has switched to number 99. He's on the left side. There you go. Johnson. New member of this Louisville defense, Devontae Fields, started his career at TCU, where he was highly regarded, ran into some issues. And Defensive Player of the Year 2012, those issues included an allegation of assault. Those charges were dismissed. Nevertheless, he transferred out of TCU and went to a junior college, and now back on the field as a starter for Louisville. 3rd and 2. Rock Thomas got it. Wide down.
And Louisville may finally catch a mistake by Auburn on their offense with a holding penalty on this play. But, you know, as we talk, you're talking about Devontae Fields on that one. You should have seen his jump off at the line of scrimmage. He just flew upfield.
Holding. Offense number 63. 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat 3rd down.
That's Alex Kozan, number 63, out a year ago with a bad back. Starter 2 years ago as a freshman All-American, and there he grabs it. That arm right there on number 98, Sheldon Rankins, is called. All you got to do is place it there sometimes.
3rd down, 12.
Now let's see if Mr. Fields or Mr. Rankins can get some pressure with just a 4-man rush here.
Intercepted. Threw it right in the midsection of Josh Harvey Clemens.
Well, the Georgia recruits are doing really well in this football. He's got an interception so far. Well, I don't know. He must have lost them this time, because really Clemens stood there the whole time, was in the throwing lane, and there was no way that football was getting the receiver. He just assumed, and when you assume, it usually doesn't turn out well. That time, Jeremy Johnson guessed on the throw, and he paid dearly for it. Again, the mistake. Both teams have made mistakes. And let's be fair, it is the first game of the year, and they're playing high-quality competition. Remember, no preseason games in college football.
On 1st down, this is Jeremy Smith, a sophomore, number 34, gets his first carry of the ball game. Casanova McKenzie. There's Josh Harvey Clemens. That's not going to make up for tipping the ball to Ricardo Lewis, I promise you. But I'm sure there's a little warmth in his personality right now. Yep. Smith again coming to the right side. Final 20 seconds, first quarter. Jonathan Rudy Ford, number 23, makes the tackle.
You know, as we close out this first quarter here, you know, my impression is, even though Louisville has made so many mistakes, they're going to feel good about it. 7-0, and we played about as bad as we can play.
And we've reached the end of the first quarter. Auburn leads at 7-0. And we'll return to Atlanta after this message and a word from your local station. Welcome back to the Chick-fil-A Kickoff Bowl. 3rd down and 3. Bonifant goes right. He's got the first down plus.
That's a great call that time. That was a play they knew they had in the pocket for a short yardage play. I bet they wish they would have used that on the goal line.
Yes, or even on the first play of the game. Well, we played 15. Give me your idea of something good, something bad.
Well, I haven't seen much bad about Auburn, but I do think they're more aggressive in the secondary, and they look very physical on defense. For Louisville, it looks like Bonifant, if he has time, can throw the ball from the pocket. That's a big advantage. They just need to run the ball. They got to find some running game. That's the bad for Louisville. Can they get Brandon Radcliffe a little bit of yards to help the quarterback in the passing game?
Wonderful feature in our pregame show about Reggie Bonifant and his relationship with his late father, Wallace. Wallace died 1 week before Bonifant started his first game last year. And among other things, left a letter he wrote to his son as a high school senior. And Reggie's mom kept that. And it's now in the hands of Reggie. Lost his father 9 days after he took his first snaps last September. And there's Reggie with the monitor. His senior year at Trinity High School. Bonifant has not read the letter since then.
Louisville has an extra tackle in and a heavy tight end in next to him to one side.
Looks like it's close. Whoa, where's the spot going to be?
That's very close, but short. I think Chris Frost had the first hit on the play. I'm not sure, but he's been all over the football field. Let's see if it's number 17 with the first hit. No, it was Casanova McKenzie again, number 8.
And 4th down, they will go for it, apparently. High formation. Second back, got a first down. That's Jeremy Smith. Spent 1 year at Fresno City College in California. He is a native Californian.
Ran the same play back-to-back, second time. That's challenging your football team. Say eventually we're going to have to run the ball, and if we can't, we're not going to win. Louisville last year finished 103rd in the nation in yards per rush attempt. That's something they got to get that up to 50, 60 at least, in my opinion, to compete with the big schools in the ACC or around the country.
L.J. Scott stays on the field. Play action. Bonifant dances right, in pressure, down at the 47. Carl Lawson and DeVaro Lawrence.
Now, there's some athletes in that front 8. I'm going to call it a front 8 for Auburn. I said it, I've been quoted, let's put it that way, is 1 to 85. This is a more talented Auburn football team than the one that won the national championship. Now, the national championship team had Cam Newton, so let's slow down there. But they've got 8 defensive linemen that you can almost interchange them here. And with a healthy Carl Lawson, they're pretty stout up there.
Loss of 7, 2nd and 17. Under pressure again, Bonifant, oh dear. Laid out his receiver, and it'll be 3rd and 17. Cole Hicatini, in his first year at Louisville, was the intended target, and he's
got a bad hit. He must have fallen on the ground.
Yeah, he's going to head almost immediately to the bench.
Right arm.
Yep.
And Trey Matthews again aggressively hitting that target area, exactly where you're supposed to go, from the underneath the shoulders, right in the chest, all the way to the knees. That's the target area, and he did it beautifully.
10th play of the drive, but it's 3rd and 17. 4-man rush. Bonifant's sacked again. Boy, they're getting pressure up front.
Well, that's the matchup that Auburn has to take advantage of, and Louisville has the weak spot. Louisville was 115th in the country last year protecting the quarterback. They gave up a ton of sacks, almost 3 a game. Now they've gone more mobile at quarterback, but Carl Lawson just overpowered that offensive line, makes it, and Muschamp says it's exactly the way my front 4 has to do it.
Well, that's the 3rd sack in this game, and Josh Appleby is on the punt.
Not very good.
Not at all. Fair catch called for, taken at 21 by Marcus Davis. 30-yard punt, nothing on the return. A little stretching exercise for Carl Lewis.
Adam Zucker in New York with this Ford update. Arkansas's first game is a ranked team under Brett Bielema. His quarterback, Brandon Allen, 3 touchdowns, only 2 incompletions. Bobby Petrino's old team on top of UTEP right now, 21-9. Vernon Gary, back to you.
All right, thank you, Adam. And a lot of SEC teams getting underway in the SEC spotlight tonight. Big game, Arizona State at A&M, Louisiana at Kentucky, LSU hosts McNeese State, Florida at home, and there's the big one, Wisconsin at Alabama. Jake Coker, Cooper Bateman.
Or somebody else.
Yeah. I mean.
Or both of them.
You know, I think Nick Saban. Yeah, there you go. Nick Saban and Bobby Petrino have been on the phone this week. Let's not tell anybody.
Right. Well, the Louisville defense got shocked a bit with the first drive. But since then, they've had a 3-and-out and an interception. Let's see if they've settled down and control the line of scrimmage here again.
Duke Williams in the slot to the right, number 1. They go left and find Melvin Ray, number 82. So nice start to this possession. All right, preseason top 10. No surprise, Ohio State there. Alabama ranked 3rd. TCU with a win over Minnesota. Auburn is 6th in the current standings. 2nd down, 1. That was not well done. Rock Thomas. Keith Kelsey. And that gives us an opportunity to cue the duck. Ohio State trying to repeat, who are the only 2 teams to repeat as national champions since 1990.
Now remember this, since Auburn substituted, the referee will hold and allow Louisville to substitute fairly. Give them an equal chance. To go hurry up, you have to keep these same 11 people on the field.
3rd and 1. Johnson, first down.
That's one of my couple worry areas for Auburn. Okay, they don't have a lot of returning running backs, and they really can't afford over the long season of the SEC to have Jeremy Johnson take a lot of hits. You got to use them very judiciously. Here's a quick huddle. This is usually a type of a wheel route play from the pass. See if they do it again. Yep.
Johnson pressured, goes deep, triple coverage, intercepted. There is a flag. Josh Harvey Clemens, if the play stands, will have his 2nd interception of the ball game.
It's going to stand. It was holding. Yes, you already got it. We got it right there. Good job. Didn't have to wait around. So the Louisville defense, again, Jeremy Johnson on that play. It's a first down play. If it's not, I agree with you. If you don't have it, don't do that. But did you get the highlights that fast? Now the technology's amazing.
Apparently so.
I mean, there's nobody to throw that ball to. You're not likely to get a tip pass again, Jeremy.
And how ironic, the pass was intended for Ricardo Lewis. First-year defensive coordinator, but 2nd time around at Auburn.
Yes, but a long time in between, and a lot's changed. The hurry-up finesse, but Will Muschamp hasn't changed. This is what he believes. You got to win and dominate your individual battles. He's old school. Most physical team wins. He doesn't care about the hurry-up and all that other stuff, and he is known for attacking the line of scrimmage, and that means extra linebackers or safeties. Somebody will be coming to stress that offensive line.
Bonifant pulls it back, looks downfield, lobs it, it's incomplete. Justin Garrett defending, and the pressure was Dontavius Russell. number 95.
This must have been a busted play. I look downfield, Reggie Bonifant looks downfield, and both receivers never really turned around. It must have been a one-man route because both receivers downfield were just running clearing routes on that play. So if you don't have the dump pass, he had no one in that instance.
Speaking of second times around, Bobby Petrino at Louisville. Of course, he's the only member of this Louisville outfit who's ever coached or played a game in the Dome. Bobby Petrino, the head coach for 13 games of the Atlanta Falcons. Went 2-5 at home in the Dome and resigned after a Monday night loss to the New Orleans Saints to go to Arkansas. Nice. That's good for a first down to Jalen Smith, his second catch, number 87.
Well, that time Blake Countess, the defensive back for Auburn, kind of got through the block, but then couldn't make the tackle. Just enough to get outside that time and making a big play by Jalen Smith.
Gain of 12, first down. With the exception of the opening play of the game, Bonifant has been the quarterback. He was the quarterback then, but they had the freshman in, and here's another pass to Jalen Smith. And in case you joined us late, that freshman was Lamar Jackson, and he threw an interception to Trey Matthews on the opening offensive play of the game.
One of those quarterbacks that we talk about, that's Will Gardner right there, the junior. He started this team a year ago as a starting quarterback. He's had 3 ACL knee injuries, but a year ago against Miami, his first game, 20 for 28, 206 yards. So there is an experienced guy if things continue to sputter.
Bonifant, little pressure, wide open. Mickey Crom, who was a bit of a surprise as the starter, earned that in the last week of practice, and there's a flag down.
Another well-delivered ball.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 26. 15 yards from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Pretty obvious that's Justin Garrett. So they'll tack on 15. And that moves the ball to the 37-yard line.
Look, at the longer that Louisville can stay in this football game, the better it's going to be. Their young players, our receivers and tackle, they're going to say, hey, I can do this.
Jeremy Smith is now the running back. Bonifant out of the gun. Pressure. He's popped as he lets it go. Right up the middle came Montravius Adams, number 1.
Really got a kick out of Will Muschamp. When we talked about Montravius Adams last night, he said he's a really good football player, true junior. And I turned on tape with him. I watched tape with him, and I said, Montravius, every time you dog a play, you're just taking money out of your pocket. That's less money the NFL is going to give you. He's going to be an NFL player, but every time you dog one, just take some money out of your pocket.
He did not on that one. Bonifant is now 8 of 12 for 67 yards. He'll hand it off in the sweep to Jeremy Smith. And that's going to be just short of the first down. Well, Carl Lawson injured on the last defensive stand, and Allie has more.
Thanks, Vern. Carl Lawson is cleared to play, but he's been experiencing some irritation in his right hip flexor. Every chance he gets, he's on the trainer's table, stretching out that hip flexor. Just recently, he looked like he was in a lot of pain, though, so I think they might be being cautious by not putting him in.
On third down, thank you, Allie. Keeper. Bonifant. Shirt tackle, jersey tackle.
Well, this is the way I think they need Reggie Bonifant to play. A little bit like Russell Wilson with Seattle. You keep the zone read in the game, and when you run the ball not to get hit hard. Run towards the sideline, get what you can, and get down. You can't take that punishment all year. And right now, Reggie's showing you that he's got a good package. Delivering the ball, running the offense, and keeping the defense honest with the zone keep play. Louisville getting more and more comfortable.
Obinger fumbles. That was at the point of the exchange, and here goes Justin Garrett. Justin Garrett, there are no flags. Touchdown. Auburn.
Didn't I just say Louisville looked more comfortable?
Yeah, you did.
Can I have that one back?
I wasn't going to bring it up.
It was about as simple of a play that you can run. A bad handoff. Adams is in there causing the problems.
Yep.
It bounces up, and that's a disaster. Again, Adams got his hand in the handoff, right in the pocket. I don't know if he opened up the pocket on the exchange and he caused it, or it was just a poor handoff. Maybe a little both.
Daniel Carlson with the extra point. And a fumble return of 82 yards.
Great penetration by Montravius Adams that time, but Louisville has met the enemy so far, and it's them. Now, I give credit to Auburn, but that handoff has to be made. You can't have the other team score a touchdown on a handoff to your tailback. Could not get the down block from the tackle that time. Great penetration, and there he goes.
And Coach Boom on the sideline. Will Muschamp. Pretty good stuff. That was Jeremy Smith who fumbled the handoff. Montravius Adams had a lot to do with that. And then Justin Garrett picked it up and strolled 82 yards. Never touched. All points have come off turnovers.
Well, it's pretty sloppy football game. You know, I mean, we've 3 interceptions, a fumble, a missed field goal, penalties. Quarterbacks making mistakes. Both teams, you know, pretty much a quality opponent here, but both teams making a lot of mistakes early in this game.
Daniel Carlson will kick off for Auburn. Lamb is the deep man, and he's really deep. So it will come out to the 20. And let's take another look at that fumble return with the Chick-fil-A Skycam.
Vern, we talk about the freshman, but the freshman's over here on this thing. But look at this. The tackle, Aaron Epps, does not have his hand down. The guard does, and the guard does. I know some old offensive line coaches would go crazy because he cannot get down fast enough to make that block from a 2-point stance. Montravius Adams beats the offensive tackle Epps off the line of scrimmage. That's what caused the breakdown and the missed handoff. Penetration always blows it up.
And a new quarterback in for Louisville. This is Lamar Jackson, the freshman. And Lamar Jackson was on the field for the opening play of the game.
Charge timeout Auburn. Their second.
Auburn called timeout.
Full media timeout.
Well, you wondered after that interception that he threw if we'd see him again. Obviously, Bobby Petrino said, I'm going to give him a package.
Hope he brings it home.
I'm just here to set you up. Ole Miss unchallenged.
We got a lot of good football players. If they find their quarterback and if Kelly's the real thing, they're going to be a threat.
And we're in downtown Atlanta. It's time to cue the duck once again with the answer to the Aflac trivia question. The only 2 teams to repeat as national titleists since 1990. And they are Nebraska and Alabama. Did you get that right?
One of them.
We're a little more. We're current. There's Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, is he popped.
I mean, that is not surprised that he's having a running play, a non-decision play at quarterback from Lamar Jackson. I mean, I've been in a lot of meetings, Vern. I have never heard really coaches rave that much about a player who's never played before as a true freshman. He got pasted on welcome to major college football because the other number 8 labeled him.
He's out of Boynton Beach, Florida. It ultimately came down to either Florida or Louisville. And at his signing press conference, he showed up with a blue jersey, took it off, and wore the red one. I mean, really, between Petrino and Garrett McGee, they could not have been.
I thought we were talking about Tebow there for a second. I flashed back like 8 years in the meeting. I was like, I'm going to go get all my Tebow notes out.
3rd and 1.
Oh, look how aggressive Auburn is.
Boy.
Just so much more aggressive to the football than I remember. You know, at the end of the year last year, this Auburn defense, now they were wore down. There's the true freshman right there, Cowart, that made that play. You can see why he was a 5-star, named the #1 recruit in the country, the way he played that time on that play. And they've got defensive linemen all over the football field here.
They do have a first down. Here's Jackson. Deep left side, man-for-man coverage. Can't hang on. That was Devontae Pete, another of that quartet of freshman wide receivers who are so highly regarded.
But you see how you get challenged in a man-to-man defense, okay? You might get beat. They might throw a back shoulder fade on you, and they may look, you know, a little bit weak sometimes. But they're going to have to execute because you're going to make them do it every play because your guy's going to beat it, going to beat it, going to beat it.
Jackson, he's got 4.4 speed, but it doesn't help you if Casanova McKenzie is in your way.
Right. Well, he's going to have to grow, obviously. You're not going to get what Lamar Jackson might be in Game 6 tonight, but, you know, that's what they think about him. Remember, they have 3 quarterbacks that won games for them a year ago, and a true freshman is playing.
4-man rush. Left side, incomplete. That was intended for Travion Samuel and Tim Irvin, the freshman.
There is no soft zone. Catch it in front of them. Make it look. Make them catch it in front of you. Rally to the ball. This Auburn defense is attacking every throw. If you're going to move the ball, throwing the ball in Auburn, you're going to have to be at a high level. Now, you can do it, but you got to be at a high level.
Josh Appleby on the punt. Return is on all the way. Good coverage. Wow. Terrific coverage. 2 men down. And the second man, Stacy Thomas, got the tackle. Well, it's been a little sloppy.
Both teams have been forcing miscues. Both teams have been giving miscues on unforced errors. Both sides missing field goals, jumping off sides, key penalties. The difference in the game, when Auburn makes a mistake, they're living with it. When Louisville makes a mistake, the scoreboard's changing. That's the difference in the game right now.
And here's the last touchdown. Justin Garrett, 82 yards with a fumble return. And there's exactly what Gary was talking about. No points off the 2 turnovers. We've got 4:42 to go in the half. Javon Robinson is the running back now. It was a very competitive battle for the position during training camp. And Rock Thomas came out as the leader, but Javon Robinson gets his first carry of the ball game.
Well, this is the time we remember Gus Malzahn with 4 minutes to go in a half. Remember, he gets the ball to start the second half. He'd be feeding Trey Mason, taking that clock down, getting about a 9-play drive and scoring at the end of the half. Get the ball in the second half and put the game away. Let's see if he can do it with this younger, newer team.
Up the middle. Rock Thomas, a few.
Remember, this Auburn team, this style is run the ball downhill and then play action pass off of it. That's what makes the Auburn offense go. And that's why it's going to be a little challenge for Gus, because he's got so many new running backs, H-backs, and tight ends in there to utilize that running attack that he's so used to calling plays with.
And he has only 1 timeout. They've wasted a couple, not wasted, used. 2nd down and 6. 4 receivers, 3 left. Blitz. Got it, Ricardo Lewis. And that's a first down. Covered by Tremaine Washington.
That's that back shoulder stop fade or short comeback that I'll never forget, that one that Cam Newton threw against Alabama on 4th down. He threw that one to kind of ice or put the game away, whatever the heck it was, on 4th down. But it was just those type of throws, and they work it all the time in practice.
3:23 to go. First half. Keep it on the ground.
Start pounding.
Yeah.
Knew it was coming.
Javon Robinson, number 29.
I can just hear Will Muschamp over there on the sideline for Auburn going, love the way you run the ball here, Coach. Love it. Let's take about 3 more minutes off for me.
Robinson limping as he heads to the sideline. And Peyton Barber, number 25, the third running back used by Auburn, is on the field. And there's the H-back, Petway, number 36.
There it is again. Easy play.
Left side, dropped it. Melvin Ray.
That's where the experience is, to the outside. Melvin Ray, Ricardo Lewis, Duke Williams, 3 seniors, usually dependable. That one perfect throw, didn't catch it.
Third and 4. Blitz.
Nice catch.
At the 50, it sure was.
Nice catch.
Jason Smith, number 4. And Peyton Barber with the block.
Ball was a little high. He went right past the sticks by about 1.5 yards and got a first down.
Well, the get-back coach is not getting him back. So a sideline warning for Louisville. They were out on the field, too many of them. So the referee, John O'Neill, said, whoa. First down 10. Nice. To the 42, Peyton Barber.
Now watch out, if there's any team in the college football where they start running the ball methodically like this, they like to throw the ball in the middle of the field on the post. Now, a couple of interceptions, but Gus has a way of wanting to show his team and the other coach that he's got an answer. He's got one saved. Is he going to be patient and continue to run the ball and bleed the clock, or will he go for a big one?
Clock winding down. And they use their final timeout. Time call. The Geico halftime report back to our New York studios with Adam Bryan and the newest member of our studio team, and a welcome to him, Rick Neuheisel. Second down, up the middle, first down plus. Clock will stop while they move the chain.
Yeah, when you're running the ball like this is just such a huge drive. Louisville knows this. Todd Grantham, Bobby Petrino know it. They can't allow a touchdown here. If Gus Malzahn bleeds the clock and scores under a minute, this football game could be practically over, 21-0.
First down 10. 1:27 to go. Come right. Peyton Barber again squirts through to the 30-yard line, and they'll mark it down at the 29.
You know, he's got this clock now low enough where he can do the gimmick play. Jason Smith, number 4, was a high school quarterback. Beware.
Ooh.
He's on the field.
I've learned to listen. He's number 4, and he's in the slot to the right.
Oh, he's got it anyway.
He went for Ricardo Lewis in the end zone, and it was tipped away incomplete.
Well, I'll tell you, the Louisville safeties are not biting. They're staying deep. They've read their scouting reports. They know that that Auburn likes to throw the ball down the middle of the field, and they have kept honest in the middle of the field and done a really good job.
That was Chucky Williams, number 22. Nice job of defending. 3rd and 6. 50 seconds to go. Johnson rolling out. There's going to be a holding call. He throws it away.
That's the 3rd straight down, Vern, at Louisville. Todd Grantham brought the blitz. And the last time it paid off with a penalty. I'll bet you Gus Malzahn is kicking himself right now. You know, he had that running game going. He had 2nd and 6. You know, his MO is he likes to kind of get the big play, the big call. If he'd have kept feeding the running back, you know, you almost got the feeling they could have marched it right down the field.
Well, Todd Grantham in his 2nd year as the defensive coordinator at Louisville. Worked with Mark Richt at Georgia. And it's 3rd down 16. 3 down, 4 are coming for Louisville. Johnson lets it go.
Nice
tipped,
play.
I believe.
James Burgess, I think, is who it was.
Yeah, that's
13,
exactly
right?
it. Right.
Beautiful play. That would have been a completion. Your inside linebacker, the guy who's making the tackles, makes the play. Watch number 13 redirect the receiver and then come back and make the play. He pushed the receiver out, and then he came back in and made the right-handed play. What a wonderful play by James Burgess.
And Daniel Carlson is on to try a 56-yard field goal. Tyler Stovall will hold it. 56 yards. Line drive. Got it! His previous long field goal effort was 51. He exceeds it by 5 yards. Well, they got something out of it.
They sure did.
On Wisconsin!
The punting duties this year, but not the kickoffs. Here he is. And it's what he does so well.
One thing we know about Auburn, Vern, the long field goal, they're good at it. Whether the other team's kicking it and they return it or they kick it themselves, they're good at the long field goal.
Do you have something in mind? Like the kick six?
Yes.
If one pill could make you a genius, what would you do? Don't miss the premiere of Limitless, Tuesday, September 22nd, only CBS. Well, that missed field goal return, of course, will live forever in college football. It was Alabama-Auburn 2013, and Chris Davis.
Be really careful here if you're Louisville. Get into the second half.
Bonifant sacked.
Yeah, you don't want to.
It was Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. You don't want to fumble right there. Could be. You got to chip away at this lead. In the second half, you don't want a young freshman quarterback running a 2-minute drill against an experienced defense. I don't like that strategy at all. Boy, I'll tell you, he is. Travius Adams having a football game, isn't he?
Yes, kind of. He's not
putting money in his pocket.
He's not taking a play off.
Yeah,
I know
that's
that
for sure.
It's hard to emphasize strongly enough how strong Bobby Petrino and Garrick McKee talked about Jackson. He's the fastest man on the team. McKee said he's really a good wide receiver. If we put him at wide receiver, he'd be first team All-American.
Wow.
Strong. And then he said his talents are ridiculous, but he's having a tough start in this one, first game.
Well, apparently they're going to get him ready for the rest of the year, because in this situation, he's putting him under a lot of pressure for a mistake. He can zip it, though.
Yeah. Got the first down. Clock stops with 13 seconds to go. That's a gain of 17. Time called. Final timeout. Louisville. First down, 13 seconds to go. Options?
Well, no timeout, so you got to make first down throws. If you do make a first down throw, I would assume they'll run up and down, spike the ball. Kind of surprised they didn't spike it on the last play. They want a Hail Mary. Let's put it that way, okay? They want to get a first down, get in range to throw a Hail Mary at the end of the game, end of the half.
Well, the deepest defender is at the 30, and now he'll scramble. Here's that 4-4 speed, and he does get out of bounds with the first down at the 44 with 7 seconds to go.
One more completion to the sideline or a run to the sideline, they get a field goal out of it. So, I mean, Bobby knows what he's doing. This is his guy, it looks like, doesn't it to you?
Sure does.
In the long run, this is his guy.
Yeah. Well, we asked him yesterday, Bobby Petrino, is there any chance of redshirting? None.
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 Sure. I mean, Auburn is conceding these plays. They need about 8 yards and get out of bounds, or they need a first down throw. You can't have a completion less than a first down, or they have to get out of bounds.
Auburn is 3 deep inside the 15-yard line. It's first down. Jackson steps up, throws it deep left side into double coverage, and that's way out of bounds. And that leaves 1 second on the clock. 1 second.
Well, it'd be a 61-yard field goal. And
yeah.
Chris Davis just trotted out there.
I knew you were going to go there.
They're going to punt it. I would.
Yeah.
I don't know why if he's got such a strong arm, why wouldn't you? Oh, it's going to be field goal. 61 yards.
61 yards.
And Auburn has no one deep.
No, they don't. Chris Davis has gone to the other league. Josh Appleby. Short.
It was on target.
Yeah, it was.
Yep. About maybe 5 yards, 8 yards short.
Let's go down to Alley with Bobby Petrino.
Coach, from the very first play of this game, this half has been defined by self-imposed mistakes that Auburn's capitalized on. How do you address those mistakes?
Exactly. We got to quit hurting ourselves. You know, the center's got to snap the ball when he's supposed to. We got a couple of turnovers. We've moved the ball, put a couple good drives together, but no points on the board. We've got to get it going and make sure we don't hurt ourselves.
You decided to go with Lamar Jackson in the second quarter. Why the change?
I like his speed and his ability to throw the ball. I thought Reggie got tired on that last drive, so it was time to give Lamar a shot.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, he likes him. He's going to find ways to get him in the game. No doubt about it.
That is the end of the first half. The score, Auburn 17, Louisville nothing. Now let's go to Adam Zucker in our New York studio. A lot of booms going on that sideline. That was our AT&T strong performance. Just a moment ago, Alling the Force with Gus Malzahn.
Coach, your aggressive defense led to some big moments on offense for you in that first half, and despite playing 2 different quarterbacks, you held Louisville scoreless. What was working defensively for you?
Yeah, our defense playing very good. They're playing physical, they're flying the ball, and they're playing great right now. We just need to get our offense up to par, and we need to protect that football better.
On Jeremy Johnson's 2 interceptions in the first half, what did you see on those?
He just threw it up for grabs. We got to do a better job of reading our progression. He's probably a little nervous, a little keyed up, wanting to make a big play early. He'll settle down in the second half and just start working within our system.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Allie. Ready for the kickoff, and Auburn if you'll recall, won the opening toss and deferred to the second half. There's Jeremy Johnson. John Wallace will kick off. And Jonathan Rudy Ford is deep along with Blake Countess. Countess is number 24. This will be Rudy Ford, and it will come out to the 20-yard line, 17-0. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson together for the 10th consecutive year. What have you learned from watching the first 30 minutes?
Well, first of all, Louisville's defense have done a nice job. As Allie was talking to Gus right there, I mean, they held them to 144 yards, 66 in the passing game. I mean, they've done a decent job in this football game. The problem for Louisville is they can't find a running game. No help for the quarterback.
Right.
12 of the 24 rush attempts have been by the quarterback. Of course, 4 of them are sacks. Somebody has to help the quarterback for Louisville in this game.
Well, first down and 10, Auburn. They're going to have to wait and see until they either stop or yield on this possession. Here's Johnson, handoff left side, and it's Peyton Barber out to the 30-yard line. Second down 5.
Auburn went hurry up in the first half and only had 28 plays.
That's going to be a delay.
12 men on the field. Is it too many men?
Illegal substitution. 12 defensive players in formation. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
There's really no excuse for that because Auburn substituted, so Louisville had an opportunity to get their players on the field. See, they still had, it wasn't the bottom of the screen guy. There was 12 guys still in the formation after that one guy left the field.
And we've not yet mentioned in our first telecast that there are 8 officials on the field now.
8 and 12 and 11. Add that up for me.
Play action.
Oh, nice cut.
Handed off. Peyton Barber.
And as we talked about, usually in the start of the season, Gus Malzahn will give a lot of players rushing attempts to start the season. Watch this. 1 foot and a direct cut. Beautiful block up that time. Was it Alex Kozan that time, number 63?
53.
Or was it Danzig, 53? Yeah.
Devontae Danzig. Petway, the freshman H-back.
That was a nice 1 foot cut and slam it.
Duke Williams and Ricardo Lewis. And now Lewis comes in motion. They hand it off. Big hole. Huge hole on the left side. And Peyton Barber cuts through that opening and moves to the 45-yard line.
Well, you remember when Auburn ran the ball well, they had a fullback, Jay Proche. Well, watch the freshman, number 36 right here, Petway. Seals it right there. That's a freshman football player showing that he can man that position, a position so important in this Auburn running attack.
And that's a first down 10. Marcus Davis is wide right. Here's Ricardo Lewis again. Lewis around the right side. Inside the 40. Tackled by Josh Harvey Clemens. The two names will be linked forever. First half trends, Gary.
Well, Gus chalked it up to a little bit nervousness, and maybe it was. You know, the team is finally Jeremy. I thought he had a rough first half. He just was chucking the ball up there a few times. Justin Garrett with the big play, of course, on the play by Montrevious Adams. And Louisville, it was, I thought Bonifant was doing a decent job. I have to be honest. It didn't appear to me he was tired, but, you know, when a coach has his eye on a new quarterback, it's hard to hold that spot. Believe me, I've been there.
Barber again, right side. They're moving on the ground adroitly now, and that's to the 33-yard line.
They ran behind Danzy again, number 53.
Move the chain, hurry the offense.
It's an offensive line that they feel can improve as the season goes on and be as powerful as any they had. And remember, they've had some man play that offensive line for them in the past running the ball. Nice attack. Todd Grantham that time brings an outside safety blitz, a run blitz that time, and meets it in the backfield.
Sheldon Rankins made the tackle. There's Todd Grantham.
As Vern has been telling you, a lot of experience in the SEC and Georgia facing this offense.
Second down and 10. Johnson heads right. Oh, he's got a man in the end zone open. Touchdown, Ricardo Louis.
Well, Tremaine Washington made a bad error. He took his eyes off his receiver. His receiver was running an out route and then turned it upfield. And he took his eyes off for 1 second, and he got burned. Nice throw finally by Jeremy Johnson outside the pocket, but 1 second he peeked at the quarterback, and it was over.
Carlson for the extra point. 57 of 57 last year. He's now had 60 of 60 in the last season and one half.
Well, Vern, it's not the first rule, but it's one of the cardinal rules. When you're in man-to-man coverage, you can't take your eye off your receiver. Now watch. He looks, he turns around, he's looking at the quarterback, and boom, it's over. Right then, once you turn your hips one time and that receiver goes long, you'll never make up that ground. He knew it. It's a tough lesson. And
thus far, a tough afternoon for Bobby Trevino. Ricardo Louis is having a fine day. Auburn opens up with a touchdown on its first second half drive, and they have opened up a lead of 24-0. Big mistake by the cornerback. And Ricardo Louis made him pay. Here's Carlson to kick off. Corvin Lamb and Travion Powell are the two deep men for the Cardinals. Again. Well, he's effective. That's Corvin Lamb, takes a knee. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear for 60 years. Goodyear has provided aerial coverage of college football's greatest traditions and biggest rivalries.
Well, look at, remember at the start of the game where Gus deferred on the flip, the coin toss. So that end of the half, that's like, you know, that you guys do the basketball. 5 minutes at the end of the half, 5 minutes beginning of the second half. And remember, the end of the half, 56-yard field goal, begin the half, 7 points. You have to get out of halves, especially when that flip, when it happens.
Brandon Radcliffe, the running back, who is the featured back for Louisville, finally moves into positive territory. That's his 6th carry. He was 5 for -2 before this 22-yard game.
Yeah, I don't think that Louisville can match up with Auburn. Maybe some other team with Auburn if they don't get some help out of the running back position. And Brandon Radcliffe is their featured guy. And, you know, him being negative at halftime, not a great omen.
Full-man rush, flip. James Quick, who was not on display. Tim Irvin, the freshman, number 22, led the charge defensively.
There's nothing to do if you're Louisville but try to chip away. You just have to keep your head down and just try to make first downs. You go back to basics and fundamentals. You think positive plays, one play at a time. You just can't look at that scoreboard right now.
Jackson, good downfield coverage. He does get a bit of a block in the corner. and picks up yardage to the 45-yard line.
Here you see Lamar get out, not get out of bounds, and take a lick. Now, we're pretty good at not tipping off anything when we talk to different coaches, right? We knew, we had some sense that we would see Lamar Jackson. We did not tip off the Auburn coaches at all. And all of a sudden, Will Muschamp says, we expect to see Lamar Jackson.
That's right.
And you said, how do you know this stuff?
But did you expect to see him this much?
No, I did not.
Could this be a quarterback change? Bonifant out. You've got the freshman in. Ended the first half, and now he opens in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Bonifant on the sideline. We haven't commented on the script, the font used for the names on the back.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of cute, isn't it?
Somebody's reading the New York Times. Or Shakespeare.
Yeah, or Shakespeare.
Well, they're kind of nifty. First down. And a carry of 2.
Well, the area that Louisville was most worried about was their offensive line. Could they match up against this outstanding defensive line for Auburn? And, you know, they really haven't been able to dominate anything at the line of scrimmage, but you can't avoid them. You have to continue to run those plays, and then that passing game will open up for Lamar or Reggie, whoever's in there.
Second down.
We have not seen Carl Lawson again since Allie's report.
Number 55 not on the field. Here's a corner blitz. And there's Jackson. First down at the 30. Montravius Adams, that's a gain of 10. And Lawson is not on the field, as Gary just said. Let's check in with Allie.
Lawson continues to move back and forth from the training table. When you see him walk casually up and down the sideline, he does walk with a bit of a limp. You can tell there's still some irritation there.
Allie, thanks. First down 10. Into the corner. Good coverage. Good catch. Better. Oh, it's incomplete. Out of bounds. That was Devontae Pete.
Now, well, it's the freshman, true freshman Devontae Pete, matched up on that play with Jonathan Jones. 6'6" versus 5'10", and his right foot comes out.
Second and 10. Keeper. Inside the 25.
You know, one of the things when I was getting ready for this football game, I go, this will be easy. You know, I know Auburn now, Gus is going to run his offense. I've seen Bobby Petrino for 15 years. I know his offense. Well, this is a new wrinkle. And this is not the Bobby Petrino offense he's featured through his whole career. He usually has a drop-back quarterback, play-action pass, crossing routes. Now he's gone to the different style with the running quarterbacks.
And he tries to run to the left. Montravius Adams. Go back to the point that Will Muschamp made to us yesterday.
Right.
Every time you take a play off, you're losing money in your future contract. Boy, he's had a great day today. John Wallace is going to come on and try the field goal to get Louisville on the board. This will be spotted from 43 yards away. Wallace missed one earlier. Holder's Josh Appleby actually missed two. He missed one that he pulled to the left, and then he missed one from 61 yards. But they're on the board at last. The Chick-fil-A kickoff game on CBS is sponsored by Windows, Dr. Pepper, T-Mobile, and by Ford. Pictures from inside the National Football Foundation Hall of Fame, newly established in Atlanta, and a wonderful spot to visit if you're ever around Atlanta and you are a fan of this sport. Bobby Petrino and the Louisville Cardinals 24-3. They are down.
If you do want to come, though, if you're coming this weekend, you might want to be prepared.
Yes.
Yeah, for outfits all over. It's Dragon Con.
Dragon Con, yes. And
Dragon
there are
Con.
52,000
Nothing wrong with it.
people
That's right.
in town.
And
Dragon Con.
just if you're,
Now.
you get to see vintage helmets and vintage costumes if you come on this weekend. And every color hair you can imagine.
Yeah. And every age you can imagine.
But you know what? I could not believe how nice everybody was. It's so polite, having fun the whole weekend.
Ricardo Lewis. Oh, boy. Wow. Josh Harvey Clemens and Ricardo Lewis again.
Well, let's see if that Louisville defense can avoid the mistake that happened last time and get a, I don't want to say easy touchdown because it was well earned by the good play of turning it upfield, but it started off being able to run the ball. They established the run, and then everything came from there.
Peyton Barber is the running back. Goes over the
Pretty
center.
strong.
Yeah. Keith Kelsey from Gainesville, Florida, made the tackle. Will Muschamp was telling us last night he made a big mistake when he was the head coach of Florida in not recruiting Kelsey. Regretted that.
From Gainesville.
Yeah. First down. There's Kelsey. 6.5 to go, almost. Peyton Barber getting a lot of load.
That was strong running. The challenge for Gus Malzahn and his offense is he doesn't really have the quarterback running weapon that he had in Cam Newton or Nick Marshall. By the way, Nick Marshall, who made the NFL.
With Jacksonville, I believe.
Yeah, as a cornerback, a defensive back, he made the NFL. Stayed on the team.
Marcus Davis. It'll be 3rd and short. Under 6 to go, 3rd quarter.
Now this would be a time back in the day that you would see Cam Newton run the ball. Right? He would power up and in there, and you really, defensive coordinators would tell you, like a Tebow before, when it got to be 3rd and 2, you knew what was coming.
It's going to be Peyton Barber, and that's going to be very close. See what kind of spot they give him.
I thought he pushed forward there.
It appears that way. Line judge on this side. Yep. First down.
We've seen this so many times. Everybody talks about the hurry up and the spread, and all that fits into how Auburn likes to get you mesmerized with a lot of the window dressing, but play the power football off of it.
On first down 10. Johnson play fake. Gets a good block. No wonder it was a good block. It was holding. There's a free play.
Great deep thrower.
Jason Smith, but
it was Brandon Smith that had the hold. Pair of Smiths.
Previous spot, Bobby.
Number 71, and he was beat right off the line of scrimmage, and he had to do it, or there wouldn't have been it.
Offense number 71. 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Mr. Malzahn politely disagrees with the call.
Yep, inside, watch him pull him down.
Yeah.
Yep, he got him. That was kind of a busted assignment that time. Golson, number 73, should have stayed and helped and kind of surprised Brandon Smith that he had him by himself that time. That's a miscommunication between the offensive center and guard on the play. But you can see the arm talent of Jeremy Johnson. They love to throw the post pattern at Auburn, even when it's covered. Like today, or against Georgia when they won their football game.
Now we're told unsportsmanlike conduct on the bench.
Yeah, well, Gus was upset. I don't know if he's the guy that got called on it, but it's a 30-yard penalty.
And if you're curious about why there's no replay, well, we have standards of decorum in this podcast.
We're afraid you're a lip reader.
Yes.
Right?
And we know you can hear. So there was foul language involved.
Well,
somebody on that sideline.
Vern, if you're going to use foul language on a 70-yard touchdown pass, that's when to really use it. That's when I used to use it.
That's a pretty good standard.
Yes, if you're going to do it.
Yeah. So keep it on the ground.
It's academic, but, you know, throw a perfect pass and you don't get anything out of it.
Braden Smith's probably hiding right now. Second down.
Look how this offense eats up that time. Remember a team that had 29 plays at a halftime or 28, whatever it is. Now they're at 41. They just kind of just work the ball and make first downs. That's what really drives a football team playing against them crazy.
Four-man rush. Right side after the 35. Melvin Ray with the catch, and that's going to lead to a third down. And a long way to go. 3rd and 19.
Anything but a big mistake for Auburn here. Right?
Yep. Johnson. Intercepted. What was that you said?
I tell you, Jeremy Johnson's really struggled out of the pocket today. He had 1 touchdown, but 3 or 4 brutal throws. He has 3 interceptions. It could be 5 very easily.
And a little redemption for Jermaine Washington, beaten on a Ricardo Lewis touchdown catch. And this was a really easy interception.
Well, you're really not going to get much here. I mean, it's 3rd and 20, and hard to figure out what he's looking at. Nobody in his vision at all when he gets out of the pocket. And well, I tell you, Jeremy Johnson looks good in the pocket, but out of the pocket, he looks tough. Rough afternoon for him.
So, hope for Louisville.
Yes.
To the left side, Brandon Radcliffe.
You know what I think Bobby Petrino may be thinking about the Lamar Jackson here and why he's playing this football game. He knows he needs a running game, and he doesn't feel confident he can run the ball in a traditional way. He thinks that to get opportunities for Radcliffe and his other running backs, he must run his quarterback, so he's going to his best running quarterback. Because he obviously is looking for rushing yards here.
Second down, 8, 5 wides. 3-man rush for Auburn. Here's Jackson, tucks it down at the 30-yard line. Hard tackle. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, remember this, as you make the 3rd down call here, if you're an offensive coordinator calling this play or you're the head coach, it's 4-down territory.
First 2 seasons, only 2 interceptions today. 3. Third and 4. Stunts. Oh, watch out now. Stiff arm. He got the first down.
He did.
Jonathan Jones.
Four-man rush, penetration inside, and when you have an opportunity if you're a running quarterback, and that's why you're in the game, you better run. Put a touchdown on the board. Chip away. Auburn has given you a chance with that turnover. Can you take advantage of it?
No, not on that play. That one took off on him.
It kept going. That strong arm kept rising on that one, didn't it? Jonathan Jones thought he had an interception there, and it went right over his head.
Well, the leading rusher now for Louisville is Lamar Jackson, 9 carries, 51 yards. Again, he is the quickest player on this team. Clocked in a 4.440. Second down and 10. On the sweep, good block on the edge. That's Brendan Redcliffe. And that brings to mind something Will Muschamp said last night. He's not just a good back, he's a really good back. Now, he was held in check in the first half.
Yes, it is to have any space for him to run. And again, I think the strategy here is we're going to have to live with Lamar Jackson's inexperience because he can produce the running yards for Radcliffe and our other running backs. The offensive line has had such a tough time pass protecting and run blocking in a normal offense. They've gone to a new offense, basically.
14-yard gain. Look who's loose. Touchdown, Louisville. Lamar Jackson. Pretty good play fake.
Yep.
And then around the corner, unescorted.
Well, you can see, I mean, they were drooling about this football player. And right now, Gus Malzahn and Jeremy Johnson are looking at each other and saying, we put this team back in this game. That turnover was a brutal turnover.
Well, keep in mind, prior to the turnover, there was a 70-yard touchdown pass.
Exactly. Right.
Gated by a holding call.
And then a non-sportsman call.
So
but you know, when it happens, you got to deal with it and punt it.
Oh, that was... Oh.
Good.
Yes. Talk about limping through.
Deflected on the extra point, but here it was. Here's what happened. Holding inside on a touchdown pass right down the middle, a perfect throw. Right baton, like a track to Jalen Smith. Holding on it, and then you come back, you throw the interception, and all of a sudden, Louisville says, all right, 21 game turns into a 14-point game. Let's play football.
.24-10 now after the negated touchdown, then the interception, and then the fine running of Lamar Jackson, the freshman quarterback. And Jeremy Johnson has had a tough day.
Do want to say this. There is a learning curve to being the guy. You know, being the backup quarterback is one thing. You come in there, throw a few passes. They interview the other guy after the game. You go home and you do it. When you're the guy, and you've been taking interviews now since January about being the leader of the team, whole different feeling. Some guys can handle it. Some guys can't. Jeremy Johnson's going to have to show he can handle it.
Rudy Ford tripped, or he might have gotten 25 more.
I'm sure you do know this, that there's a lot of criticism in this league.
Really?
Go for this.
Really? Here's the Auburn coaching staff in the middle. Tommy Tuberville, his offensive coordinator, Bobby Petrino. Bobby took the job at Auburn January of 2002 as the offensive coordinator, and then less than a year later named the Louisville football coach. Later on, a mysterious plane in the night owned by a very influential Auburn alum was spotted at the Louisville airport. On that plane, the president of the university and the athletic director and the alum, and they offered Petrino a chance to come back and take over from Tommy Tuberville. I think the interesting part of it is that Bobby says he and Tommy, who's now at Cincinnati, remain friends and talk a lot.
Yeah, good defense.
Yep.
You know, I was going to say that happened a while ago, and that was a big story then. That's not even worth a retweet nowadays. Oh, my God. You mean people talk to other coaches in the middle of the season? Like, that happens every day nowadays. Well, the Louisville defense, look, Gus Malzahn tried to run Jeremy Johnson right there, and Louisville said, no way, we don't believe it. You're not a running quarterback.
3rd and 9. Be careful here. They rush from the outside. Johnson got it.
That's
Big
his
play.
game. That is his game.
Duke Williams.
What a really nice route by Duke Williams here right this time on Josh Harvey Clemens. Comes in, break it straight across Clemens' face. Harvey Clemens did not have a chance. That's the game for Jeremy Johnson. Now, Gus has got to figure out how to put his offense around what Jeremy Johnson does well.
Meanwhile, we have reached the end of 3. Big play for Auburn. Final play, 3rd quarter. It's 24-10. We'll return to Atlanta after this word from your local stations. We began the 4th quarter of the Chick-fil-A Kickoff Classic. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Allie LaForce. You saw the score by quarter. Here's the new defensive coordinator and a former defensive coordinator, Will Muschamp. Gary asked him how long he was out of work, or when was the last time you asked him. You've been fired on out of work on a Monday.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll get this right.
Well, and how long? I mean, it was 1 or 2 days that I kind of knew I had to make a big decision.
Yeah, and Gus Malzahn, he was fired on Sunday by Jeremy Foley. Woke up Monday not knowing exactly what the future held. Malzahn came to see him at his home in Gainesville on Tuesday. And Will promised that he would not make a decision until he took his wife to the Dominican Republic. And then he winked at us. Yeah, there we go. Peyton Barber. Well, Will is just to continue that brief story. He said he hopes for another job, head coach. But if he spends his life as a defensive coordinator,
he's good at it.
He's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Impressions so far.
Well, I'm impressed that Louisville's still in this football game. They've hung tough. They're very competitive players. I mean, you know, Charlie Strong built this team. Petrino's continues. This is not a team that's going to faint. They've had some problems. They made some mistakes, but they're hanging in there tough. And now Auburn better execute here and put them away. You know, if Louisville gets the ball down 14, all of a sudden, boy, oh boy, and Auburn defense is going to start to feel the pressure of being in a tight football game for, you know, maybe the first time of the game.
Gain of 1, Devontae Fields, the TCU transfer after a year in community college.
And one thing that Louisville's not been able to handle is Duke Williams, number 1. He runs great routes. He's got great size. You know, if you want to go to somebody, Duke would be a guy to go to.
Johnson. Oh, boy. He found Barber.
Yep, that was that wheel route. They were looking for something big. I thought he was going to lay that ball up in the air and get another pickoff. But he very smartly drilled it in there. There was a safety deep. And if he had laid that ball up in the air, Washington was going to pick it off.
That was Tremaine Washington who picked off one earlier. And he puts a pretty good belt in the back of Peyton Barber. We mentioned it was a very close competition for the starting running back. Rock Thomas got the nod for today, but Peyton Barber now has carried it 17 times, and he is running tough.
And those are some big names. You know, Rock Thomas, highly sought after. Javon Robinson, junior college recruit of the year. And everybody talked about Robinson coming in, and Peyton Barber just fights and fights and physically is handling. What, did he go over 100 yards?
Yes.
Yes, over 100 yards in the game.
$104 today, 54 all of last year. Somebody tore a piece of his britches. A little hole in his pants. The price you pay.
It's like a
heart-shaped. How did that happen? There's Barber again.
Well, now let's look over to Gus Malzahn. Does he try to pull one of his plays? He has 5 or 6 or 7 red zone plays, 3 or 4 on the left hash, 3 or 4 on the right hash, that he likes to steal points with. Or does he bang it? Does he say, no, we're running it too good, I'm going to keep banging it?
That's Da'Keil Williams, number 1, in tight. Exposed, though, to the right side. That's Ricardo Lewis on the sweep. Gets a good block in the backfield. Cuts upfield and he's inside the 20. Peyton Barber got the block.
Sure did. And the technique on this play, when you're blocking, when you're the lead blocker, is throw for that outside knee. Watch him throw to the outside. Perfect technique on the left side. And the speed of Lewis gets around the corner.
He got the big block from Keith Brown. Now here's Auburn stats, the Verizon Red Zone a year ago.
Vern, I know Auburn wants a touchdown, but remember, a field goal is huge here as well. 17 points. Controls the game.
Go back to this drive, and they faced a 3rd down and 9. And Johnson found Duke Williams. Now we got a flag.
Yeah, Gus Malzahn, I think, called timeout just in time. Again, that's a rule that I just don't like. I think it should be called on the field by the players.
Auburn. They're first.
11:26 to go in this one. Time called Auburn.
Adam Zucker with this Advocare update. UCLA true freshman Josh Rosen has a big target for his 3rd touchdown pass. 310-pound defensive tackle Kenny Clark. UCLA rolling in the 4th quarter against Virginia. Clark joins Robert Kimdichie as defensive tackles with touchdown receptions today, guys.
Now there is Centennial Park in downtown Atlanta. Celebratory spot of the Olympic Games when they were held here in the 90s. And also the site of a terrible tragedy, the bombing that was part of that story. 2nd down 2. Well, make it 3. Let's be specific and precise. Up the middle. Barber twist. Got it. Boy, he has had some day.
He is, and it's usually the MO of how Gus Malzahn goes. He starts off with all 3, and he finds a hot runner, he goes. But Barber's done it all. Not only has he run over 100, he's caught the passes and delivered the key block. He's produced everything that Gus Malzahn needed from that running back position, one that had little or no experience. No running back going into this game for Auburn had carried the ball in a game more than 9 times.
And you saw the graphic. Barber with 19 carries, and it's 1st down and goal. Why not? That's his 20th carry of the ball game. There's a scramble, but whistles blow. Well, you look back a couple of years ago, it was Trey Mason who emerged as the key running back. Last year, Cameron Artis-Payne.
And he's more in that style, Artis-Payne style, than he is Trey Mason. Trey Mason, obviously a high draft pick, and really carried the load for that Auburn football team. Now, what do you got? Get a nice fade pass. Will they even dare to throw it in this situation? I mean, they're eating up clock. They don't want to make a mistake in this situation, but we'll see.
Tony Stevens is in. Now here's Lewis on the sweep. That is a touchdown. Took a little while.
You were patient. I admire you.
It was killing me.
You were waiting. You were waiting.
That's experience.
Yes. A little communication between the 2 refs, snuck inside the pylon, and the speed sweep, and it was the running attack on this drive. 12 plays, 10 of them were on the ground.
But one of them was a pass on 3rd and 9 for 12 yards to keep this drive going.
And then the other one to the running back on the wheel route.
Yep. Daniel Carlson's extra point is good.
Well, you needed an answer, and Auburn did the answer by going back to what they do best. Run with power and then the speed sweep.
Looked like it was over at that point, 24-0, but Wallace kicked a 43-yard field goal to put Louisville on the board And then opportunities arose for the Louisville Cardinals. The freshman, Lamar Jackson, with a touchdown run. Looked like they might climb back in it. And that young photographer did a hip check. That was well done. And she didn't lose balance. The football player did.
Well, that was a great answer by Auburn there. You know, Louisville comes back, puts a touchdown on the board. It's a 2-possession football game, and Auburn comes back and answers with and make it back to 21 points. A great answer. Now remember, this early season, it never goes smooth. Remember 2 years ago, wasn't it Auburn, Washington State was a little messy and ended up in the championship game. Last year we talked about Ohio State, how they struggled early in the season. Team is still kind of growing and learning and getting together. You don't overreact early. You just put a W on the board. And that's what Auburn has to get out of here if they want to be champions. Got to get out of here with a W and then turn their eyes toward that SEC championship and that grind of the SEC schedule.
That's another touchback. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. For 60 years, Goodyear has provided aerial coverage of college football's greatest traditions and biggest rivalries. On the left, that is the Georgia Dome. It's 23 years old and apparently has become a pile of rocks.
Seems nice.
Yeah, it seems nice, doesn't it? But that's the new home.
Right there, right?
Right there, yeah, yeah. 2017.
What's that going to cost? Like
I don't know.
Couple million? Couple million?
Yeah, couple million.
With B.
That's what it's going to cost you to get it.
Right.
First down 10. Jackson, elusive, looks for a downfield block. He gets one. Oh my goodness, what a nice cut.
He does have some talent. When Bobby Petrino said he turned on the tape, he heard that Lamar Jackson wanted to commit to Louisville. He turned it on and said, well, I'll tell you what, if he can't play quarterback, he sure can play wide receiver. Let's take him. And they took him off of one tape, watching him on film.
First down on that last play for Jackson. Gets the snap. A little dodge, elusiveness, another first down. You've seen a bit of his speed, Gary.
Yep.
Part of his legend that will become part of his legacy now already. In the summer, he found out that Rajon Rondo was racing in a street, and he looked at him and he said, you know what, I can race that guy. And he raced the NBA star of a variety of number teams, and he beat him.
Well, Rondo's a pretty good quick player.
Across the middle, Samuel, I beg your pardon. That wasn't the greatest video I've ever seen.
Hey,
you know,
it's an iPhone or whatever.
We got the story told.
Yes. Well, he does have athletic skills, and as he learns to be a player and understand the whole part of the offense, you know, I mean, that's what I believe. Teddy Bridgewater was thrown in as a freshman, right? And look how it paid off for Louisville. So you live with mistakes early in a career, and you get better and better and better, and it pays off at the end of the career.
Across the middle, nice tackle. Charles Stanberry with the stop. Whoops. That's Trey Matthews. Oh dear.
Just a little crossing route. Trey Matthews is tracking it all the way. Avoids the umpire, and who knows what happened.
Yeah. Still down at the 42.
No idea.
So the former Georgia player who transferred to Auburn and then sat out had an interception, a big one earlier in this game, but a little bit of anguish as he's on his back. The Chick-fil-A kickoff game on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light, Napa, Auto Trader, and by Chick-fil-A. Well, we are back in Atlanta, and this is Trey Matthews, who walked off without assistance. And in the Auburn cap, one of the legendary orthopedic surgeons in the United States. That's Dr. James Andrews. Here's Brandon Radcliffe. He's the team doctor, Dr. Andrews is, for both Auburn and Alabama.
Brandon Radcliffe likes this offense, I'll tell you that right now. He's been getting some space to run the ball and gain some yards. Watching Louisville, understand this is a big 13 days for them. They play 3 games in 13 days. Today, the 12th and the 17th. Houston and Clemson, the next 2 foes.
Jackson avoids the pressure. Look at him run. Whoa. There's a player down for Louisville down at the 15-yard line. That's James Quick, the wide receiver, who buckled and fell. And I think he was untouched.
Well, I was trying to ask the coaches last night for some comparisons of a true freshman, and I threw out some names. And I will not throw out these names because I don't want to embarrass anybody, but you all know some of these names as famous true freshman quarterbacks. But after watching his raw ability here and the way he, as a true freshman player handles it out, he's got the Michael Vick type stuff that he does. He's got the live arm, the flick of the football, runs all around. He doesn't really understand every aspect of the game early in his career, but that's exactly how Michael Vick played in the national championship game. I did that game, and Florida State players were talking to themselves when Michael Vick was running around in that first half.
Looks like a right knee for James Quick.
Yeah, nobody touched Michael Quick, I don't think, as he just tried to turn.
Left side of the screen.
Yeah, as he planted to come back, he just collapsed.
A little contact,
yes.
But I don't think that was
I don't either.
relevant to the injury.
That's the one receiver that has experience on this team.
And they're still working on Trey Matthews. Let's get more from Allie.
Thanks, Vern. Trey Matthews is in a lot of pain on the trainer's table right now. It looks like it's a shoulder issue. There's 3 people pulling on his left arm, trying to get some movement in the shoulder area. It looks like they're trying to reposition it, and there's other people trying to hold down his body. He's in so much pain.
There's Jackson throwing it away. Well, he learned that lesson.
Yes.
From first play of the game.
Let's just say, listen, this is an extremely gifted, talented individual. But that's a tough thing to have to do every game in modern day football. Even the times it's Michael Vick to now, the defense is as loaded with, 6 or 8 more guys that can run at the linebacker and the defensive end spot. And that's a long season to have to play like this.
Under 8 to go, 3rd and 5. That'll be short, well short. Well, the starter in this game was Reggie Bonifant. Pulled for Jackson late. He did complete 8 of 13, and Bobby Petrino's explanation to Allie for the switch was that he thought Bonifant got tired.
Right. Well, here's the ball game.
Yep, 4th and 4.
You got to put a play on that your quarterback has a understanding of what to do and an option to run. Yep.
There's the option, the pitch, a little behind, but let's see.
Well, I think he made it.
Yes, he did.
Look. Well, that's exactly what he gave him. A play understood with an option to run. Line of scrimmage, force the pitch, come down the line, make the tackle, right at the line and right for the first down.
So 1st and goal. Jackson drilled it. Devontae Pete. Well, this quartet of freshman receivers is going to be participating more than they thought if Quick can't go.
That was a nice throw, boy. That's some arm talent right there. This is a big-time prospect. The other 3 guys outside of an injury might be watching this guy play all year.
Yeah. Radcliffe, touchdown. It comes with 6:21, so a lot of time left.
There is. Again, establish the quarterback running, helps your offensive line, and all of a sudden, you've got a running back in Brandon Radcliffe that can gain some yards. Radcliffe, in the first half, had minus yards, has what, 64, 65 in the second half because he's in positive territory now.
John Wallace for the extra point, perfect. And with 6:21 to go, Louisville's back within 2 touchdowns.
Well, basically on this drive, it was a lot of things that Lamar Jackson just did on his own. Scrambling around, nothing there, cutting back 1, 2, or 3 times, making plays.
Now you saw James Quick injured on that last play, and that led to the touchdown. It was Radcliffe around the right side. Only 3 more days until the premiere of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, with special guests George Clooney and Jeb Bush. Don't miss it, Tuesday on CBS. That's 2 indoor blimp mentions for the Colbert Show. And Quick is being helped off.
Well, the question is, there's 6 minutes to go. Do you know, the way Auburn has been running the ball, do you do an onside kick? I wouldn't. I would challenge Auburn and see if they can run the ball on me, because if they get the onside kick, they almost give them a field goal. Kick it deep.
And they do, despite the fact Auburn had 10 men up. And this over-the-shoulder catch, he will bring it out. Blake Countess.
And you know why he brought it out is he wasn't sure where he caught it.
Exactly.
You know, so he didn't want to take a safety.
James Quick, let's check in with Allie.
When James Quick came out of the game, they immediately cut his sock and the tape around his right ankle off, started pressing around the ankle, moving his foot around. While we're still unsure exactly what the injury is, whether it's the knee or the ankle, that we don't know, but we did see him cart it off, and he was crying, guys. He was in so much pain. He put a towel over his head, and he was so disappointed to have to leave this game. So it looks like a serious injury. When we know more, I'll get back to you.
All right, Allie, thank you. 6:17 to go. And Louisville got flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct as we went down to the update on James Quick. I saw a little confrontation.
It's a big penalty because they had him inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah.
Now they're in a comfortable area where even if they have to punt, you know, it's going to put them back at their own 25, 30-yard line.
Louisville does have all 3 timeouts remaining. Auburn 2.
Well, let's see if Auburn can run the ball when the other team knows they have to run the ball. Before they could. Let's see if they can now.
Roger goes left. Chucky Williams, beg your pardon. Well, the unsportsmanlike was called on Josh Harvey Clements. Take a look at the lower left. Oh, there it was, a shove in the back. 2nd down, clock 5:52 and unraveling.
It was a good stop by the Louisville defense, though. They're in control of the down and distance chains. They won 1st down.
They work the clock, does Auburn under 10. Johnson across the middle. Almost picked off.
Oh, my.
Chucky Williams, that would have been the 4th interception. Wow.
Cutting across and away. I mean, that's one you have to. That's a game changer right there. You make that interception, and that is one you'll be thinking about that one for a long time.
3rd and 8. Johnson deep down the middle. Had him open by a stride, overthrows him, 4th down.
I know what that call showed me on that one is Gus Malzahn didn't trust Jeremy Johnson to throw the ball in traffic. He gave him a deep throw, and if it wasn't there, he was willing to punt the ball. He did not want to throw that ball in the intermediate area to get another interception.
And so on 4th and 8, Louisville will get it back with 5:27 to go.
This is a real football game here right now.
Yes, it is.
Hold on to your seat.
Well, you thought that 12-play drive by Auburn would put it away.
Right.
And then
now we're going to see what Will Muschamp is going to do. Well, he blitz Lamar Jackson and try to take him away from his scramble game.
Whoops.
Offense. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Louisville fans should be very proud of their football team here today. You know, a lot of things went bad for them, and they've hung in this game.
And so Kevin Phillips, who won the punting job, is on to send it away.
Got a good one.
Jair Alexander is going to let it bounce.
Oh, I'm shocked he let that ball bounce. Cost his team about 8 yards on the play, and the ball hung in the air forever.
56-yard punt, but Auburn was only able to chew 1:05 off the clock on that possession. Time call.
Well, it's been the Lamar Jackson story from the start of the game on, Vern. I mean, the first play of the game, you could tell what they thought of this guy. They tried to do a gimmick play. It was a disaster. It cost Louisville, but talent rises. And I tell you, the plays might not be pretty, but they're electrifying. And he's finding a way to move the ball against this aggressive Auburn defense. Now, what does Will Muschamp do? How do they get the ball out of the hands of the quarterback? Will they blitz him? Will they move up?
No blitz here. A lot of time. He's got a man open down the right side. Devontae Pete, one of those huge freshmen. And on 1st down, poor play by the corner. That's a 35-yard gain.
And just as advertised, a flick of the wrist. And all of a sudden, the freshman Jeremiah Denson gets beat on a play where he turns around, the ball's over his head before he can move.
Under 5 to go. Sweep. Radcliffe. 1st down plus.
Well, he runs with authority. In practice, you would not believe how hard of a worker he is. He might run 50, 60, 70 yards every play in practice, and he brings it. He doesn't slow down at all. Give him a little space, and he's showing why he's considered one of the top 3 backs in the ACC.
He was negative yardage in the first half. That was a gain of 13. Jackson too high. And a reminder that the play of the game presented by Napa Auto Parts will be coming up later. 2nd down and 10. 14-point game with 4:34 remaining.
Second time I've seen Todd Grantham's defense. When he was at Georgia, remember when Auburn got that 20-point lead and they came back in the prayer of Jordan Hare? He stopped Auburn in the 4th quarter. He's done a good job again with the Louisville defense here in the 4th quarter against Auburn.
Pressure. Incomplete. Boy, the pressure was really applied.
Yep, brought the 5th guy, didn't they?
Yeah. Jeff Holland, number 4, and Rudy Ford were there. And still no Carl Lawson on the field for Auburn.
Jeff Holland, another true freshman, seeing action on the field.
Third and 10. 5 wide.
5 rush.
Stunts. Beautiful. Did he make the catch? I believe he did.
Because of the scrambling of Lamar Jackson, Will Muschamp, there's no disguising going on now. He's lining 5 guys up. He's covering every offensive lineman, and he's got 5 guys playing man-to-man defense with 1 free safety. No tricks here.
Jackson 8 of 17 for 98. Pumps, throws it under pressure, caught. That's Jaquay Savage, number 19.
Well, this was the one 2 plays before where it was a 5-man rush, 5 men covering man-to-man, and slants all the way across the board. Just delivers a bullet to Samuel.
Second down 8. Under 4 to go, clock running.
He can't throw it. Boy, he's got a quick arm, Danny.
They got him this time. He was that close
Yes, he was.
to getting loose.
And there was no one in the secondary. Everybody had their back turned, all playing man-to-man coverage, and just one player turns around and makes the play.
That player was Rashid Kenyon, and Louisville calls timeout. They have 2 remaining. Lineup tonight on CBS.
And this fourth quarter has felt like 48 hours to Auburn. They thought they were out of this thing when they took the lead by 21 points. But after that, it was touchdown and touchdown.
Pressure up the middle. Almost intercepted. Chris Frost was blitzing, number 17.
Well-designed blitz that time. They freed up Chris Frost, and there was nothing for Jackson to see or throw the ball to.
Dontavius Russell leaned down. It's 4th down.
Yeah, that was one of those zone blitzes. You bring the linebackers and you drop the defensive linemen.
4th and 7.
Oh,
up the middle.
Great call. Great call.
My goodness.
Quarterback keep. It was a 6-man rush that time. They caught him, got him into the secondary. Wow, gutsy call on 4th and 7.
And it was a freshman, Jaron Christian, number 74, who was the lead blocker. 1st down. Into the corner, battle for it, and incomplete. That's a good example of incidental contact.
Yes, Jonathan Jones again. You get yourself in position. If you're in good position, they usually won't call it. It's when you're hanging from behind when they make the call. He's in good position. Both guys hand on each other. The ball's out of bounds. Good no call.
Might have been uncatchable too.
Yeah, ball was out of bounds.
2nd down and goal. Whoa.
Play clock was down. Louisville had to take a timeout.
That leaves them with 1. Garrick McKee to the right of Bobby Petrino. 2nd stint for Garrick with Petrino. He coached with him at Arkansas. Became the head coach at UAB and then was let go 1 year before that school dropped football. And a reminder again, the postgame show, Dodge postgame show coming up. When this one's through for the night, we'll take you back to New York with Adam, Rick, Brian, and highlights of this first full weekend of college football 2015. Lamar Jackson, 100 and 100.
That works. Oh, I mean, he's been the whole offense.
Oh, yeah.
Let's be honest here.
2nd and goal. Looks for a block, gets one. Runs out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
Well, you're looking at what Louisville's offense is going to look like for at least the next 3 years, I think, or barring an injury. This is what you're going to see.
3rd and goal. They hand it off. Radcliffe, touchdown!
Nice bounce out by Radcliffe. He read that well, stayed patient, then sprinted. And all of a sudden, a Will Muschamp defense that was in total control has been broken down by a mobile quarterback.
John Wallace for the extra point. A second less than 3 to go.
And
12 yards, 81
plays.
81
Not bad. And I think they're going to have to go onside kick because they burned that timeout.
Well, we are back at the Georgia Dome, the Chick-fil-A kickoff game, and it's been something, or has become something, the last 4 Louisville possessions. Field goal, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
During the quick break, I'm sure Louisville was doing the same thing we were doing up in the booth. You go through the clock. If Louisville doesn't onside kick, a 3 and out, they could get the ball back with 1:20 left, force the punt with 1:20. But it would have to be a 3 and out. Looks like they're going onside kick.
There it is. Trey Williams, number 30, got it. So now, 2:58 to go.
Still could get the ball back, but you're more likely now you're going to get it back, you know, theoretically inside your 10 if you force them to punt.
They'll move it back 1 yard to the 46-yard line. That's Red Lashley turning around, chatting. And here is the young man of the hour. Wow. You call him Peyton Barber now, and
whatever. They got to have a first down. Whatever. I'd run anybody I could right now.
Peyton Barber gets it.
Nothing there.
Nothing. Nothing. And the clock continues to run. Sheldon Rankins made the stop. Second down, 9.
For a while, you always think about hiding your quarterback and not letting him get a hit. But right now, it doesn't matter. You need to win a football game. Whatever you got to do, you got to do.
2:19 to go.
No free safety back there. Everyone is up. Todd Grantham has everybody up at the line of scrimmage.
Flag.
Nothing.
Stop the clock at 2:05. Looks like it might be offside. Called on number 92.
Whew. As Bobby Petrino told Allie, it's been the self-inflicted wounds. And when you add and put them all together, you know, they could be leading this football game.
Offside. Defense number 92. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Yep.
Just across the line. Devontae Fields. Too much anticipation.
Second down, 4, 2:05 remaining. Duke Williams, Ricardo Lewis go wide to the left side. Peyton Barber is the running back.
If they stop him, a timeout's coming.
Draw play, Barber short of the first down. Keith Brown, number 1, makes the tackle for Louisville. Clock continues to unravel. 1:25 to go.
Boy, that penalty really changed the clock, didn't it?
Gee whiz.
Changed it by 25 seconds. An extra 25 seconds. Auburn was able to run off this because of that penalty. Plus the yardage.
5 to go.
They're going to take a timeout.
Yep.
Auburn is.
with 57 seconds to go. Well, Georgia, big winners today. They're going to go into Nashville tomorrow, next week. Not tomorrow.
Next week.
It's a
I know
great
you're
town,
anxious
but
to get there because you're doing that Grand Ole Opry
I
too,
am
aren't you?
going to be at the Grand Ole Opry.
You're doing both. You're doing a double hitter.
Yeah, that's next Saturday, 3 o'clock Eastern time. It all begins with the autotrader.com. You know, it's a diversified life I live.
Yes, yes.
Well, Auburn's had an erratic game. So's Louisville, for that matter.
Yes. But you know what? A W here for Auburn in 3 weeks. Nobody will remember anything erratic about this game at all.
Yeah. Well, in 2 weeks, we're going to get to see this Auburn team at another Tiger Stadium, LSU. 3rd and 2. Give it to Barber. First down. That should do it.
Holding.
Oh, no. Flag at the line of scrimmage.
The umpire from behind made the call.
That won't do it.
Did Shane Coleman 72?
Holding. Offense number 72. 10 yards to the previous spot. Repeat 3rd down. This is not a runoff situation.
Sean Coleman, number 72, left side right there is the guy that's called on the play. Gets his arm up. See how he gets his arm up on the shoulder pads? Very easy call. The distortion of the jersey on Sheldon Rankins, number 98 from Louisville. They make the call.
You've got a quarterback who's thrown 3 interceptions. How much do you put on his shoulders now?
Wow, that would be a gutsy call. Wait a second. Louisville took a timeout?
No.
Well, they're going to run the ball now then.
Really?
Well, I'll tell you right now, that ended any chance of throwing the ball.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, analyze this.
I'm not paid that well. I don't know. I'm searching.
They took their final timeout.
I just wonder if he thought the clock was going to be restarted. Because I don't get it. Or he miscounted the number of timeouts he had. You know, I'll tell you right now, I don't even know if they're going to hand this ball off. It'll be the safest play they have. The referee had just announced it was not a runoff situation.
Draw play, Barber. So the Cardinals will get the ball back at their own 40. No, it's fourth down.
Now it's fourth down. They're going to run 40 seconds off. Basically, it's the game. There's going to be, what, 8 seconds left in the game?
Yeah.
5 seconds left in the game. Well, I've been doing it a while. I don't understand it. Either something I don't understand about the rules or something Louisville doesn't understand about the rules. There's only one of us can be right here. Right, Vern? Can't be both right. Either Louisville misunderstood it or I misunderstand the rules. There's no in between here.
Well, there's fodder for the talk shows.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Here we go. Here we go.
Okay. Now you got 3 seconds left.
I don't even think they're going to punt it. They may just run around.
Take a knee.
Well, you can't quite take a knee. You got to delay it and use your 3 seconds. Now, there is a play that I've seen where the quarterback gets the shotgun and throws the ball way up in the air because it takes longer than 3 seconds for it to come down, too.
I think I've only used this phrase once before in 16 years of doing the SEC. It's not a phrase, it's a word. Inexplicable.
You space it out when you need it, man. When you need it, you
once
grab
every 14 years.
Exactly.
My gosh.
Listen, if I'm wrong, I'll call it on myself, but I don't get it. And I'm not, you know, the referee just said it's not a timeable runoff situation.
Snap.
You'll just throw it up.
There it is. Game over.
Wasn't pretty. Louisville has a lot of positives to take away, but in 3 weeks, if Auburn knocks off LSU, nobody remembers 1 second of this game. So Auburn gets a win. That was ugly at the end, wasn't it? That was ugly.
Let's go down to Allie with Gus Malzahn.
Coach, you never gave up the lead, but you sure did let Louisville keep it close.
Yeah, we made it interesting. There's no doubt. We made some mistakes, but you got to give them credit. They're a really good team. Good defense. That freshman quarterback's got some wheels, and they did a good job, but we won the game. So we got our first victory, and we'll improve.
There's always so much unknown until you see that team take the field for the first time like they did today. Where is the team compared to where you thought they would be?
Well, we had so many question marks. We got a bunch of young guys. You know, Peyton Barber's a guy who played a lot, and he really was our workhorse. So we learned a lot about our team, and the great thing is we got a real chance to get better each game, so that's exciting for me.
Do you have any idea why Louisville did call that timeout there at the end?
You know, I don't know. I mean, he's a very good coach, you know, and he has a strategy right there. We had a lot of holding penalties right there. That was a tough one at the end. We had 3 others, but hey, we won.
We saw Trey Matthews carted off. He went back to the x-ray room, which with what looked like a shoulder injury. How much of a concern is that for you?
Well, he's a very good player. That's definitely a concern. I don't know the status of it and all that, but he's a tough guy.
Thanks, Coach. Congrats on the win.
All right, thank you.
All right, hey there, Peyton. How you doing? Congratulations, over 100 yards rushing. It seemed like in the second half, the backfield in general had a whole different mentality.
Yes, ma'am. You know, I just got to thank God. You know, thank my coach, Coach Malzahn. You know, that's pretty much all I can say to that.
What does the first win of the season do for this team?
I think it's a big jump for us. You know, it gives us some confidence. So.
Thanks, Peyton. Congratulations.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Allie, thank you. What do you think?
Well, they might have found a, go-to running back that can make first downs, but a brighter spot for Louisville is they might have found a go-to quarterback that can win games.
Well, despite the defeat, we have chosen Lamar Jackson as the player of the game. 100 yards passing, 106 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. He took over from the starting quarterback late in the first half of play, Bonifan, and went the distance the entire second half. This
Yeah, it was, I questioned the strategy because I thought Bonifan was doing pretty well in the first half, and really not much of a reason to bench your quarterback. But, when a coaching staff sees a guy practice every day on the practice field, they know what they got, and they believe they've got a future star in Jackson, and that's why they played him.
Well, it's now time for our Napa Auto Parts play of the game. And this turned out to be the decisive touchdown in the game. Montravius Adams reached a handout, forced a fumble, and Justin Garrett picked it up with Trey Matthews as accompaniment. Let's take another look at it with Rod Bramlett from the Auburn Radio Network.
And they'll hand it off, and he dropped it. He never had it. The ball's picked up, running the other way at the midfield to the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, down to the 10, to the 5. Gone! Justin Garrett, touchdown Auburn!
Well,
what I think is that LSU will turn on this tape and say our quarterback needs to make some plays. And if they do, that Will Muschamp defense has some cracks. So LSU says we got a chance in this game in 2 weeks.
That is in 2 weeks, and we'll be there for that one. We've got Georgia Vandy next week. And the old leather helmet. Some of us saw guys playing those. That's the trophy. It'll be given to Auburn. Tonight, Hawaii 5-0, back-to-back episodes. Next Saturday, Georgia at Vanderbilt. For Allie LaForce, Gary Danielson, our entire CBS production crew, Vern Lundquist, see you in Nashville.